I don't know if I'm ever gonna get out of this place. It's so scary. Alright, Bugman, compose yourself. You've got an episode to record. Welcome back, everybody. This is episode 42 of Minecraft The Journey. In the last episode, we cowered away from those things. They're terrifying. We cowered away here in the Nether because it was just overwhelming. There were ghasts everywhere, fireballs all around us, fire everywhere. Pigmen doing that. Oh, it was awful, awful. Now we need to get out of this place and try and make our way back to the overworld, to safety. So I'm gonna do it. Oh, there's gonna be ghasts everywhere. Look at this carnage. Absolute carnage. Oh, free food. I like that. Now this one is a problem. He's been there for the longest time, with his head stuck in the netherrack there, and every time I wander over that way, it fires at me, so I'm gonna have to try and take this very carefully. Let's get out of here. Now I did learn a trick, which is if you press F5, the ghasts will actually aim their fireballs at the camera, not at the player, so I should be a little bit more safe. This is like, oh, there it goes, it's attacking me. Actually, it's being very well behaved. Oh, let's get out of here. Well, you can see inside of my head. Ah, back to safety. Miles away from the base, but back to safety. Yeah, so, welcome back. This is episode 42 of Minecraft The Journey, and this is a version 1.2.0 alpha, and this is the Halloween update, hence why everything has been utter chaos and absolute craziness. What happens if you have fun? And yeah, so today we need to fortify the entrance to the Nether to make sure that when we go to and from that place, we're not getting absolutely decimated and destroyed by those ghasts. There's a real open area right outside of the portal, which is not very good for ghast spawning. Well, I mean, actually, it's very good for ghast spawning. It's not very good for players when it comes to ghast spawning. In the last episode, we also built this portal area. I need to adjust the portal frame a bit so that it's not so ugly, but that was because I got the size wrong, thinking that you can make a bigger portal when actually you can't. You can only make portals of this size. So we'll tidy that up in due course when I've got the patience to do it and make it look a bit more correct. Let me gather some resources so that we can work on this nether side and try and fortify things. And I think I need to also get my bow and arrow back and work on that problem. And the way to do that at the moment is to AFK for a while down here at the skeleton farm. It's been quite a while since I've used this thing, and there are no arrows available in the chest, so we are literally out of arrows. But this seems to be still working quite well, except there are some bottlenecks down here, but that's okay because once the skeletons build up a little bit like this, they tend to push each other into the water stream. Except for that one, which is drowning. But for the most part, they're supposed to just push each other through and then eventually go up this water ladder here. That one died. So that's an interesting defect I might have to come back and fix. And of course, actually the faster way to do this would be to craft them, which I didn't even think of, but wow, that's a lot of arrows. I have quite a lot of flint because every time you're digging the gravel up, it tends to turn to flint every now and then, so yeah, that's actually a lot quicker than using the farm. But the farm is free, so we're pretty well equipped now. The sun's going down, and normally when the sun goes down, because there's no sleeping in this version of the game, I've got nothing to do and I have to wait until morning before I can record again. But now I've got something to do. I can hop into the Nether and I can work on fortifying things. Now in my inventory I've got a few things that we're going to need. We've got some cobblestone to help us build up an initial fortification, some cobblestone stairs just so that we can get up and down easier. We've got some wood, just so that we can build whatever we need to that might be out of wood. Some chests to put in there to put all our possessions, and another flint and steel that we're going to put on the other side of the portal just in case we get lost. And I will add some obsidian to this as soon as I have some. And of course, a picture, because we need a picture. We're going to make things feel homely. All right, now I'm going to arm myself with my bow and arrow because there's a ghast in there that's been particularly annoying. We're going to kill it. All right. There it is. It's that one. Wow, there were many of them. Oh. That was highly unexpected. We're just going to have to go crazy with the bow and arrow here until we get rid of all of these things. Go! Oh, all right. Is that it? No, there's another one. Okay, that's done. Now we're going to have to move fast here. We want to get some fortification done. Oh, wow, that was intense. But the arrow is king in the Nether. I'm going to make sure that I always have my bow and arrow on me. Absolutely. Where are you pesky thing? Wow, that was miles away. It's not fair that you can... Wow. It's not fair that you can get me from so far away, but I have to be much closer to range attack you. Oh. Wow, did you see that? I can use the arrows to deflect the fireballs back. Oh, not then. Oh, you're so far away. Come on, come in a little closer, a little closer. Gotta aim higher. Oh, so far away. Die! Look at this. There was a ghast out here, and that one, and it fireballed into the portal and actually unlit it. So I am very lucky that I was carrying my trusty flint and steel. All the more reason, of course, to make sure that we put a chest down here, and the first thing that goes inside is a flint and steel, just to make sure we're safe. But the fortification's coming along okay. It's really just a cobblestone box at the moment, and we might make it a little bit more better looking later on. We need a roof. That is the... Oh, I think the reason there's so many screams from the ghast is because the ghast is actually susceptible to fire, and as you might have seen, sometimes they... So... Oh, wow. Sometimes... Ow, 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 ow. Ow, ow, ow! Oh. Sometimes they die if they float into lava or into fire. So that screaming you hear is definitely that. And the ghast noise... No, not you. The ghast noise that they make is actually loud no matter where you are. As long as the ghast is in range, the distance of the noise is the same. I hope that makes sense. I'm trying to concentrate on fortifying. It doesn't matter how far away the ghast is, it will always sound a lot closer. Oh, let me finish this up. I've done some work and I now feel a lot safer when I go through to the other side of this portal. Let's head in and have a little bit of a look. As soon as we arrive, we are in the safety of a beautiful cobblestone box. There are a few features here which make this place useful and yet safe. First, of course, the cobblestone can't be broken by the ghast fireballs, and we've even got a little landing out here so that if they fire at me while I'm in front of the place, most of it should get absorbed. Now, they can break glass, but, you know, that's okay at the end of the day. We've got a nice little picture here so that we can remind ourselves of some sanity when we're in this place. We've also got some lookouts. Here, we can have a look out here, and the ghasts can't see us through the glass, so we can check to see how safe it is before we actually decide to head out. Through this way, we've got one up here as well, so we can check to see if there's anything above our heads. And this one is probably the best. This is the little spaceport. And out here, we can have a look at the entire lava lake and see if there are any ghasts out here that might cause us trouble. And once we deem that it is safe, we should be able to just walk out of this door with a handy pressure plate, or lock the door with this lever if we want to leave it open. And out here, well, it's still quite unsafe with respect to the open space out here, but it is safer in terms of us arriving into the Nether in less chaos. See what I mean? There we go. Still madness out there, but still we have the safety of our house. Now through here is a little lever where I can exit and enter the house in a more safe environment. This is just a little natural nether cave here, so it's unlikely that any ghasts are going to see us, and we can get in and out without too much hassle this way and have a little bit more protection from all the chaos out there, and then just hop back up the stairs and inside to the screams and sadness. I want to take a closer look at the history of the Zombie Pigmen. On the 25th of October, before this version was released, Notch tweeted out that he's working on a new mob, a kind of pointless mob, saying, "Anyway, I'm working on the second new mob today, and it's far less dangerous than the Ghast. Right now, they're kind of pointless actually." At this stage, not much was known about it beyond this tweet, and it turns out that this mob was going to become the Zombie Pigman. But what is a Zombie Pigman, and how do they fit into this game? In October 2010, a player by the name of Mick Lee had tweeted to Notch about the idea of pig humans being in the game, and had even created a player texture for himself based on this mob that he'd been using since Minecraft InDev. Notch seemed to like this idea because a texture for the Pigman mob was added to the game files for this version, even though the mob itself didn't yet exist. Here's what the texture file looks like. And here's what the Pigman mob would have looked like if it were actually added. If I was to hazard an educated guess, I'd say that both the Pigman and the Zombie Pigman were intended to be added into the game, but because of the Halloween theme and the new Nether dimension, the Zombie Pigman was developed first, and the Pigman was intended to be added later. But the history of the Zombie Pigman skin goes back to a user called Exophobia. Mick Lee and Exophobia were friends, and Mick Lee had asked Exophobia to create several different skin variations of the Pigman for him. A tribal skin, a tribal chieftain, and a Halloween skin. And so, on October 18th, 2010, the Zombie Pigman skin was born. Exophobia uploaded this skin to DeviantArt on the 23rd of October, and Notch asked for permission to use it in the game if credit was given. "Hey, can I use your Zombie Pigman skin in the game if I credit you?" There would be no further compensation, just to be clear. "I don't mind if you do. I'd be honoured if you did, actually. Putting your skin in the game now. It will be a mainly peaceful mob in hell." And if you load up that skin's texture file, you'll find that credit from Notch in some of the unused areas of the texture, reading the words, "Thanks, Exophobia." In the 1.2.0 preview version, which was not released publicly, players got their first view of the Zombie Pigman through the PC Magazine gameplay videos. In this version, the Pigmen were unarmed neutral mobs. By the time the public release was out a few days later, this functionality was changed to make the Zombie Pigmen hostile if they're attacked. The unreleased preview version is the only version of the game to feature the Zombie Pigman's original skin by Exophobia. This version of the Zombie Pigman skin had blood oozing out of its body, but for the 1.2.0 alpha release, Notch had changed the red blood to a green colour, stating on Twitter, "I won't be using the gory texture after all. I want to keep Minecraft blood-free." I wanted to take a look at what the Nether might have looked like if the original Zombie Pigman texture... Oh, that looks dangerous. Oh, this does too. If the original Zombie Pigman texture were actually left in the game as it was. As you can see up close, he's got all this gory blood oozing out of his skin, and of course this little brown modesty pants. I think he looks pretty cool actually, but I can understand why Notch didn't want to include blood in the game. Let me have a look at your back. Stop that. No, I want to see behind you. Oh yeah. Got some bones sticking out and all sorts of things like that. Now, to make this happen, I've modified the game files to remove the original texture and replace it with the original skin by Exophobia. And I've also taken away the gold sword by just making the texture invisible, which is why he's got his arm stuck out, whereas what he normally would have had, or at least in the preview version of 1.2.0, his arms would have been down by his side. Now, I need to make a couple of corrections from the last episode. See, I'm so used to playing this game in its modern form that I've forgotten a lot about all of the changes that have happened over the years and throughout its development. For example, in these versions... Excuse me, ghasts. Whenever a new block was released, it was just given a new number. Each block had a different ID. So for example, this block is block ID 87. You see, there was no official material explaining what the names of all of these blocks were when this version was released. There were just random tweets from Notch who would drop the name of a block here and there, and otherwise the community had to figure all of this out for themselves. So this block was actually called Bloodstone, but Notch had also referred to it confusingly as Netherstone in some of his tweets. The community had also labelled it Hellstone or Red Mossy Cobblestone. Back then this block wasn't known as Glowstone, it was known as Lightstone. I'm not even sure if that was official because there's no official record of it actually being called Lightstone, just a lot of conversations with players referring to it by that name. It was also known by other names like Brittle Gold, Australium, and Brimstone. One of the other interesting facts about the Nether is that my compass works on the overworld, but it doesn't work in the Nether. I think these days everybody is pretty much used to that, but back then of course this was all brand new, so when we pop into the Nether, the compass just goes crazy. It points in all different directions like this and doesn't give us any real sense of which way we need to go to get anywhere we want to be. What I need to do now though is I need to figure out which way is actually the way towards spawn, because I want to make sure that we have a quick access way from spawn, which now I've lost all sense of direction, from spawn back to our new house, because this will save me so much time whenever I die having to make the trek back to our house. I have figured out that because 8 blocks in the overworld is 1 block in the Nether, it's only 125 blocks between here and the other portal that we need to build. So what I think I need to do is probably head back out and then just take stock of exactly which position I came in at. Now, of course, I'm going to come out in the wrong portal, so I have to make that trek all the way back to the other one. But I think that if I face one direction in the portal, if I come out of the portal on the other side still facing that direction, I think that should be the direction that I need to dig. Alright, let's try that again. So this is the east direction because this is the way that the sun rises from. So if I walk straight into this portal, let's see exactly which direction I'm facing. Okay, and if I walk out this way, the back side of the hut is the way that we need to dig. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to count, I'm actually going to count 125 blocks from this portal all the way through to wherever we need to be, and then I'm going to build a new portal and see if I come out at spawn. I've done my counting by placing 125 torches in a tunnel that I dug because it's just difficult digging and counting in the Nether with all of these blocks, especially if you have to stop to jump a little gap or something like that. And it has taken us here to this spot. So what we are going to do is mark out these 2 spots here, put in our portal frame, and hopefully everything will work out exactly as we expect. Whoops. Okay, there we go. Let's just finish it off properly, okay? We won't tell anyone about the 2 in the bottom. Now, let's get it and light it up. And we need to go through. I'm ready. I'm nervous as well. Where are we? Oh, we're at spawn. Look at that, we're up on the hill. This is not too bad at all. I can make a little staircase up here to go to the Nether portal, and we're through. Oh, this is amazing. By the way, the fire is still lit. Yeah, it's no good, no good. But yeah, how exciting, how exciting. I don't have to make this horrible journey from here all the way back to the house anymore. Exciting, exciting times. Well, look at us upgrading our technology, upgrading our game. Really, really getting somewhere now. Well, it has probably been a while since I had a look at spawn. At least I haven't had a proper look at it since the new textures were added. It is looking a little bit more modern compared to what we've seen in the past. And this spawn fire is still raging. I'm pretty sure that one day this everlasting fire bug will be fixed and these logs will eventually burn out. But here they are to stay for the moment. But with that, now that we have fast travel from spawn to the house and back again, I'm going to call it an episode. Thank you for watching with me. It's been a great one. We've learned a lot about the Pigman and everything, and I hope you've enjoyed it as well. If you have, then please leave a thumbs up because they're always fun, and feel free to comment down below. Give me any kind of feedback that you want. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and all of that other fun YouTube stuff. I recently just passed 250 subscribers, and I'm really, really happy about that because we're really making milestones here. I'm really, really grateful for all the support that I'm getting for everybody. Thank you. In the meantime, this has been bugmancx. You've been watching Minecraft The Journey. Bye-bye.